Well, the machine is inside that second door, door number 8. Well, the machine is inside that second door, door number 8. Check out the sky. It's because I'm using my this phone has 2 lenses, right? 2 cameras, and you can see, look at the sky. And now I changed to kind of like a second camera. See, it doesn't look as good. So this is what do you call it, like a wide angle thing. So I always, before I used to forget to switch to this mode when I was filming myself, and then you guys could only see like a nose or an ear. Not good. Anyway, I was supposed to load at 8. Call them in the morning. They said call us before you come over. And these are the tracks. See the tracks from that machine. So they make them over here. So what that machine does, I showed a clip yesterday. It's kind of like a big burner. It burns whatever, like wood, you know, garbage. It's kind of like a huge stove on tracks, right? I guess it's just big processor. They call it carbonizer. And so I call them at 9. They said make it 12. I call them at 12. They said make it 1:30. I come at 1:30, and they're still working on it. I say, well, at least does it start, because it's a brand new stuff they just assembled, right? And they say, oh yeah, it starts, but we just blew a little oil ring in there. So the guy just went to get a different one. And what's funny is that because I'm going to the port, and it's as usual trade union, I'll have to learn how to operate this thing. Like, they're gonna load, right? But I need to ask them for a brief lesson, because I'll be unloading in the port. You know, nobody ever helps you. Check out these D-rings. Are you all rusty? What the heck? You know, I used them once just to drag it over. I didn't even use it to secure when this was flipped. But basically what I spent when I killed the time by playing with these. I just couldn't unlock it when I spent like 40 minutes in the morning. See, now they're loose. See, if I want to, I can just take it out. But when I was at my yard, I just couldn't do anything. And I had yellow ones. I had yellow ones in here. But that's no good when you're gonna use 4 axles. And the reason I need to use 4 axles, because that machine has a huge overhang, and so we're gonna load it. That overhang, hopefully we'll be able to clear that. I'm a bit skeptical of that, because this is, I think it's about, the ground clearance is about, I don't know, 18 inches. So I don't even know, like, will I be able to to load it? But they said they ship it before, so we'll just see. But that's why I needed this room. And so I went inside. I said, guys, can you please help me drop the flip? And so that's what I've been doing for 2 hours. I was playing with all these air. By the way, why we don't have any air in there? Oh, it's because I shut down the engine and I was playing with this. So one thing I learned, and I knew it before, but I did not do it, is that you can use these little, you see these tabs? The reason for them is that it's open now, right? But what you can do is, when you need to play with this, let's say, see, now it's locked, you cannot do anything with it, like, except you can take it. No, you cannot even take it out. Like, I can unhook it. Oh, and by the way, I found out that I can still use the washer with the yellow ones because they're smaller, but I cannot use the washer with the blue ones. Oh, by the way, wait a second. So I drained the suspension. That's why we don't have air in the back. And so this thing, when you close it like this, and then you drain the air, right? And then you put the air back, but nothing is going in because you have this tap in here in this position. But what happens is that now you can open it only partially, see? And you can stop. And then you watch this. you know, till it releases. See, it goes up and you can stop it. And that's what I've been doing. So I was playing with this, and then I had to drop the front. Jesus, it took like forever, but finally I managed to get the yellow ones out of there, put the blue ones in there, and put the yellow ones in here. And then I spent another half an hour trying to put the pins in. For some reason they didn't want to align. And one important thing I did today, you see this red paint? Because here it's very limited space, you cannot see anything, you know? Like, I know this has to be this electric, this one goes always over here, but here you cannot see, you know, it's hard to remember which one is red, which one is blue. And so I bought some red paint and I painted red in here, so I know that this one is always a red, the red hose, right? And so basically we're all ready to rock and roll, because that's how I did it last time. I put the bigger shim in here, the blue one, and I put a smaller one in here. You see? And there's still no air. Oh, there is air, but why is it so... I think it's because I was playing with the suspension. There's not enough air left, but all the pins are in, and I try to attach the last unit number. Okay, now it goes up. Alright, I tried to attach the last unit number and it was defective. The paint didn't want to remain on the steel, because I need to attach 604 in here, because 603 is now hidden in there, right? And the trailer 602 I have over there. So anyway, that's what I'm doing. Other than that, I'm all ready. And I said, how long do you guys want me to wait? Because the oh yeah, that's what I can still do. I can put the oversized... I was waiting till the flip axle is down, right? Because the oversized load sign goes on the very back. So now I can do that. But we checked, I used Google to check the sunset time in Cambridge, Ontario. It's at 4:45. Okay, so I told this guy, I said, the plan for the day was just to go to my yard, which is 1.5 miles away, right? But I still need to secure the load and drive over there, and I cannot drive when it's dark because this thing is 12 feet wide, right? And so we agreed that I'm waiting here till 4 o'clock. If it's not ready at 4, but even if it's ready at 4, I doubt it, that, because I know it's gonna take a long time to load this thing, right? Like, I'll have to disconnect, that takes, okay, 30 seconds, but then to load that, I'll have to build the outriggers, right? Move my boards. And I did not do it yet because I might leave, and I cannot drive with the outrigger boards on the sides, right? Because they are not secured by anything. So anyway, and I asked the guy, I said, why do you always, like the boss, whoever's in charge, why do you order a truck when you're still working on the machine, right? Like when I showed up yesterday, they said, oh, we hope it'll start. I said, wait a second, so you ordered a truck, you don't even know if the machine will start. And he says, well, it's brand new, we just finished building it, you know? But now I know why they're in such a rush, because he says this thing has to be in Jacksonville on Thursday. So today's Friday, so Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so it has to be in the port Thursday, and the ship leaves Friday, so it has to be 1 day before the ship leaves. And I still have to stop in Pennsylvania. They do some diagnostics or something. There's another shop in there that has to do some quick thing on this machine. So I don't know, it's about 1,200 miles, so it's gonna be tight, you know? But once I start trekking, I'm not gonna cut any corners. I'll be driving slow. It's 79,000 pounds, but it's pretty big. I'm still waiting to see the actual height. How tall is it gonna be? But also I don't have my permits. My permits yet. I sent in the request yesterday late night and checked back with the permit service company around 12, and I said, did you guys get my email? Oh yeah, we're waiting for the DOT to send us the permits. So that's it. I learned that you don't want to bother them too much, because then they start, you know, getting annoyed. All right, so let me just attach this thing over here, and then I'll be all ready to load. Just take off the chains, put the outriggers, disconnect, drop the suspension. But realistically, yeah, they open tomorrow, so realistically I'll probably load tomorrow. And today I just change, because I cannot get into my brand new Challenger in this. But I don't want to leave, because I just got this amazing car. I'm so happy. It's just it has exceeded all expectations. And what's funny is that the guy who sold me that car knew very little about it, you know. Like, I want to thank Oakville Chrysler for such an amazing deal, but I think you should maybe do some, you know, and that's the case with car salesmen and car saleswomen. They have very poor technical training, like spec-wise, you know. And I'm okay with that. I can always find the specs. Like Ford Mustang, you go on the website, everything is there. But for some reason, Dodge, I go to dodge.ca or dodge.com, and it's very difficult to find. Like, let's say I wanted to know my axle ratio, the sales guy did not know. So finally this morning I found out that on a forum, like there was a forum online where, you know, people hang out. It's a forum for some Dodge fans, and now I'm a Dodge fan. Bye-bye Mustang. Well, I was a Dodge fan before. I really like that Ram 1500. I don't know, I love that truck. Just after a while, it, you know, I lost the appetite, so to speak, for that regular cab. It looks, you know, such a huge hood, and regular cab 6.5 bed just looks weird, you know, like not balanced. But this car, like, all lines are so proportionate, you know. Love it. But anyway, so what I'm trying to say is that, yeah, that bee, remember when I was walking around, there was an emblem, like a picture of a bee, like a combo bee in a race car, and I did not even knew what that is, what that was. And then I saw, I showed this in the video, where I saw that I had two buttons in there. Under the radio it says Sport, and then it says Scat Pack, right? And today I watched a video about this, where this guy has the same car. He bought it a couple of years ago, and he's talking about this. And turns out my RT392 has a Scat Pack. So basically it has a bunch of options, you know. It's like I can drive it in Sport, I can try that Scat Pack thing. Very nice, very nice. And I just use on the front 2 bungee cords on each side. You see there's holes in there at the bottom, and so I attach it over here with one hook, then I wrap around like this, and I hook it up at that hole in there. And the same thing over here. Just start from the bottom, and that pins the sign to the bottom of the bumper. And just go like this, and again hook it up at the bottom again. See? I remember first time, you know, because each time when you get a new truck, you have to learn how to do this, because each truck is different. And I remember when I was attaching this sign on the front of this bumper, first time with this canvas, I don't know, it probably took me an hour. Oh boy. Anyway, we're still waiting. But actually, at least the weather improved, because in the morning it was raining. I was all wet, you know. I was hooking up. That's another chore. Because this thing, see that, you know, the thing that wraps around, it makes it extremely difficult to hook up hoses to the ports over there, you know? So that's what I did now. I just unwind them, you know. Otherwise it's impossible. And that's what I was doing in the morning, and I was all wet, you know. So now we're good over here. Yeah, we're still in position 1. All right, we are good to go. All we need is that machine, but chances are it's not gonna be ready today. Oh, wait a second, it's already 3:47. I think I should wear these glasses all the time because I look very smart. But the other thing I wanted to mention is that I hope you guys like my new car. So we're gonna do some videos later on, but like I mentioned yesterday, I'm not too crazy about any upgrades, like, because that exhaust on the Mustang was too loud, you know. And it's like a drug, you know. It's very addictive. You start changing it because, well, the stock exhaust was no good. But okay, I changed it. I put a kit which is tuned, you know, like not just a couple of mufflers, but you have to replace everything. Then it sounds proper because they tested, right? Like I had that Flowmaster American Thunder exhaust. But like it's a drug, then you want more noise. And I went with an X pipe, and it was too much, you know. And so now I don't want to change anything on this, because again, I asked the guy, the sales guy, I said, what does active exhaust mean? I said, is that the same thing as what they have on Mustang, where, you know, you can change the exhaust note like normal, quiet, sport, track? And he says, I don't think so. By active exhaust, so something tells me that it's somehow connected to those modes, you know, the scat pack and the sport, and I'm gonna play with that. But when the weather is nice in the spring, I'll definitely go to a track and ride this thing, you know, like it's supposed to be driven. But very happy with the car. So big V8, it is different. Yeah, it's definitely, and for some reason now I don't feel the urge to drive fast, you know. Ford Mustang, maybe because it's like so small, it's much smaller, right? You just have to do like, you know, like you have to shift quickly, you have to accelerate like crazy, 0 to next light, you know, from 0 to the next light in 2 seconds. With this car, because it's so big, it's so comfortable, and I feel like it has 2 or 3 times the power of the Mustang. I don't know, I really enjoy, you know, like going kind of in a comfortable style, you know, going through the gears, and the tranny is much better on this one. This Tremac, it's really great. Very easy to shift, you know, very smooth, you know, shot throw. But anyway, and so yeah, since these guys cannot load me and I don't have a permit, so I'll probably get a chance to drive this car, you know, during the weekend at least, before I head over down south. I'm still a bit pessimistic on how they want me to reach Jacksonville on Thursday, and they still want me to stop in Pennsylvania. They don't know how long it's gonna take. One guy says, well, it can take just a couple of hours, but then on the other day he says, well, it can actually take 2 days. Well, if it takes 2 days, then forget about Thursday, you know. I'm not gonna drive like a maniac, because the daylight hours are pretty short. Like today, the sunrise here was at 7:45, and the sunset is at 4:45, right? Whereas in the summer, it's like 6 o'clock, 6 in the morning to 9 in the evening, right? So I cannot drive that much right now because of this winter, right? Time difference. So basically these guys are taking their time, because that's what they have to do. And then when I start trucking, I have to take my time, because I have my own rules and regulations. But I'm just afraid that, you know, quite often people expect you, hey, you know, it's just driving, you know, like it's loaded, it's only 1,100 miles, you should be there Wednesday, you know. Not gonna happen. So 3:53, 7 more minutes and I'm out of here. But at least, you know, that flip axle, but it was not too bad. They have big forklift, and I told the guy, just, you know, be careful, don't let your forks to slip from under like it happened before. You know, he went too fast and the fork slipped from under the tire, and he almost made a hole in the tire, like the other guy. So this one was careful, boom, boom, boom. He dropped it. It took me, I don't know, probably half an hour to attach everything and change the shims and put in yellow in the back, green in there, blue in the front. But that was the most difficult part. And so now I'm all ready. And I don't think I want to disconnect that flip axle ever. You know, the last one. Because here in Ontario, everybody's trailer like this, everybody's driving with 4 axles on the ground. Empty, loaded, doesn't matter. And all the trailers the guys buy here, they all have 4 static fixed axles. Nobody cares about flips over here, so they just have a quad, 4 axles, and they always have the load-bearing fenders in the back, which weigh about 800 pounds. And then they laugh at me like, why do you have to do this, right? Well, because I go into US. In US, I don't have an annual permit, right? So I'm gonna be too long. So if I'm too long, some guy was walking around. Why are you walking around my trailer? He's mumbling something. He's talking to himself. He just sat on the bench and he's smoking. But yeah, there's a sign there that says no parking. But I'm inside the private property, and they told me to park here. But anyway, so that's what's happening. At least I found the load, and they said, well, we're sorry. I told them about this delay, and they said, we're sorry about this. Let us know if you want any detention. And I said, I like how you think. So definitely gonna ask him for more money, because, you know, once they start delaying like this, you know, 3 hours, another 5, another 9, now it's not ready today. It can take forever. But at least I said, you guys are motivated, right? You're motivated because you know the ship is leaving the port on Friday. So I was hoping to show you guys loading today, but by the way, it's hard for me to use the GoPro now because I'm using my phone now, right? And I'm using the my little tripod like a grip, and so I put it on top of my steering wheel, and it's I'm holding it with my hand, and it sits pretty solid. But what happened is I was at a hotel and I was doing the video about the, you know, the video called They Said No, how I was trying to change the cold air intake at Canadian Tire. And I remember I was doing that. I used 2 GoPros, and on the next day I checked out of the hotel and I left behind the GoPro grip with the frame, you know, where the actual GoPro go in, like that little frame that snaps shut, you know. And then I left behind my head thing that I put on my head, again with the bracket, with the frame. So now all I have is just 2 GoPros without any frame, so I cannot even connect them over here, right? I cannot connect them over here. I cannot connect them over here. So, and I went back to the hotel. I called them. I said, guys, can you check? I was in that room. I'm pretty sure I left it over there. And then, no, we didn't see it. You know, it's already cleaned. And then I came again yesterday and they said, well, there's already somebody else in that room. Anyway, so I lost it somewhere. I'll have to buy again the grip and the two brackets for the GoPro. So that's the update. That's what's happening at Heavy Haul TV and SERGEI DRATCHEV Heavy Haul. So hopefully I'll be loading tomorrow, Saturday. I will try to show that. And see, all these guys are leaving early. The guy has a backpack that says Bud Light. Probably got it for free somewhere. Time 3:59 p.m. Friday, December 14th. See, that was my whole day today. I was hooking up to the trailer, doing all that, then I drove a little bit, then I was sitting here waiting, then was working with the flip axle. $4 p.m. That's it. And see, the sun is getting really low. See, the sun is already past the tops of trees. So, all right, we're gonna continue tomorrow. Okay, so thanks for watching. Stay warm, stay dry, and don't get into any trouble till tomorrow.